Hey, e-commerce marketing podcast listener. Are you looking to increase traffic and sales to your website? You can do this by launching your own affiliate program. Just visit getosi.com and sign up for a free trial today. That's getosi.com. Welcome back, everyone, to the e-commerce marketing podcast. I am your host, Arlen Robinson, and today we have a very special guest, Anton Kraly, who has been a serial entrepreneur for more than a decade, finding success building and selling multiple seven-figure businesses. In 2013, he started Dropship Lifestyle to teach people how to create profitable e-commerce businesses by leveraging high-ticket drop shipping. Voted best e-commerce course by Shopify in 2018, Dropship Lifestyle is now the top online e-commerce coaching program and has helped more than 8,000 students in 25 countries to find freedom through entrepreneurship. Welcome to the podcast, Anton.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, sure, not a problem. That's a pretty good title that you have there, as far as you've been voted the e-commerce course of best e-commerce course by Shopify in 2018. I know it takes a lot to get to that because Shopify, they're one of the top there, and for them to vote you the best course in 2018, that's huge.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of that. You know, I'm sure, as you know, there's over 600,000 stores on their platform,
yes,
and it's probably hundreds of courses out there. So that felt good to be recognized by them for it.
Yeah, I know it did, definitely, for sure. Well, yeah, congratulations on that. Well,
thank you.
You know, before we get into the topic of today, which is going to be drop shipping, leveraging drop shipping to sell high ticket items through Google's product listing ads, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started, and where you are today?
Sure. So, yeah, I got my start with e-commerce really doing the exact opposite of what it is we do now. It was way back in 2007 when I was right out of college, living in New York still, where I'm from. And that's when a book came out called The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. And that book introduced me to e-commerce, basically mentioned you could build a Yahoo store, you could run these ads on Google. And back then I thought, okay, what do I have to lose? Let me try to build one of these websites. Back at that time, I had a business that was a delivery route for a bakery in Brooklyn, New York. So I basically had a business where I would pick up cookies every morning from Brooklyn, then sell them to grocery stores on Long Island, where I'm from.
Okay.
And I thought, you know what, let me try to build a website, sell these things online. So spent a weekend, built a Yahoo store called NewYorkCookieShop.com, set up some Google AdWords targeting people that no longer lived in New York, but that wanted New York bakery cookies. And yeah, within a few weeks, that website was making more money than that other delivery route business. And I thought, okay, e-commerce is my thing. I'm hooked. And since then, just been, moving on to different industries, getting into high ticket products, obviously advancing off of Yahoo stores and just getting better at ads along the way.
Okay, great. That's awesome. And I'm going to ask you, do you still own that domain, NewYorkCookieShop.com? I think that's what you said.
No, yeah, I sold it back. It was probably still in 2007, maybe 2008, but I sold it with the delivery business because I realized pretty early on, you know, if I could sell these $10 products, these $20 products, which were boxes of cookies, why can't I sell something for, $500 or $1,000? So I got into that, then sold that business off.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's an awesome domain. That's why I was asking if you still owned it. Pretty good asset to have for sure. Yeah, as far as, when it comes down to it, selling is selling. And like you said, if you can sell a $10 to $20 box of cookies and you're successful doing that, you can just apply those same principles and those same marketing tactics to selling high ticket items. It totally makes sense. Now, you're pretty much an expert on drop shipping. Now, before we get into kind of how you can be successful with it, why don't you just break it down for us, for those of the listeners that aren't familiar with the terminology? What exactly is drop shipping?
Sure. So really, it's a very high level term. There's lots of different ways that people use drop shipping in their business, but really all it is a method of order fulfillment. And it could be for a website, it could be for a magazine, could be for anything. But basically what it means is if someone places an order from a specific company, then the company that delivers that item to the customer is not the retailer where that order was placed. So for example, I'm at a stand-up desk right now. If I sold for 20 different manufacturers that make stand-up desks and someone ordered from my website, then that order would be forwarded to the supplier that makes it. That supplier would drop ship it direct to my customer. So it's a way to get products to customers without needing a warehouse, without needing inventory, without needing all those additional expenses.
Okay, great. I appreciate that introduction and that explanation of drop shipping, because even though I've been in the game for quite a while, I don't think I clearly understood what exactly drop shipping was until very recently. But I appreciate that. That really makes a lot of sense. And I know a lot of businesses are successful doing it these days because your focus as far as drop shipping is concerned is really just going to be on getting the products out there, marketing them. You don't necessarily have to worry about the fulfillment and all of that inventory that's handled by the third party, which allows you to focus on really just driving the traffic to the site.
Exactly.
Now, and that brings me to my next question. Today, we're going to be talking about Google product listing ads. Now, for those of the listeners that aren't familiar with that, what exactly are Google product listing ads?
Sure. So they're managed through Google AdWords, but what a normal consumer or customer will see is if you go to google.com and you search for any product, it could be even just a very generic product name. So if you go to google.com, type in stand-up desks, you'll see your normal organic search results. You'll see the normal AdWords search text ads, which are just the lines of text up top. But then you're also going to see different images of products. And then under those images, you're going to see prices and you're going to see store names. Now, those are product listing ads. So again, from the business owner's perspective, we pay Google AdWords to appear there. But instead of doing a normal Google ad that people think of, that's just text, again, we get our product images, our product prices, our store names, all to display right there. So when the visitor, the user of Google, clicks one of them, it's a very, very quality click. They know what product it is. They know it's for sale. It's not just some random person, kind of clicking on the first thing that popped up.
Right. That makes sense. So people that see those and actually click on it, they're specifically looking for that because that's what they search for. So
exactly. And they know they're going to an e-commerce store. They don't think they're just going to get some information on it. They see the price, so they know what they're clicking on.
Gotcha. So I would imagine the conversion rate on those ads are a lot higher than somebody just going it's directly to a website. Maybe they saw the homepage, did a search, and then went to the homepage. This is a lot higher conversion. Is that correct?
It is, yes. And then there's some things, you can get more specific with how you target people with them and to make sure you're only getting those really high intent searches, but they convert much higher than any other source of traffic we use. Okay.
Now, if I'm an e-commerce business, how do I get these actual product listing ads out there, whether I'm a regular e-commerce business or I'm a drop shipping business? Is there something special I need to do with my AdWords account, or Google Ads now that they call it? What do I have to do?
Not really. You do need to create something called a Google Merchant Center account. And I think it's just like merchant.google.com. It's free to do. And when you do that, though, it links to your Google AdWords account. And the reason you need the Merchant Center account is because the way that Google will know what products you have on your website is you have to upload a product CSV, so basically like a big Excel sheet of all your products, and that goes to your Merchant Center. So once that's there, that's linked to your AdWords account. And then when you're in AdWords or Google Ads, like you said, like it's called now, you click Create a Campaign, and one of the campaign types is shopping. And if you go to that, you click Create a Campaign, Shopping Campaign, it will pull the products from that CSV of your product.
Okay, great. And now, do you have to have specifically formatted images and specifically formatted text for those? Is that all contained in the CSV?
It is, and it's really, it could be, as optimized as you want it to be. We do definitely optimize them as much as we can. The good thing is if you're using any of the big e-commerce platforms, like if you're using, Shopify or BigCommerce or Volusion or even like WooCommerce or Magento, they do all have apps or plugins that will just make the CSV for you from what's already on your store.
Gotcha.
And from there, if you want to make any slight tweaks, you can, but it's pretty simple to connect it.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, as far as the bidding and like where you're going to appear for these product listing ads, that's really all goes down to the regular pay-per-click rates and what you would normally be bidding on for certain keywords. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's actually, so this is where it gets interesting because it's a little bit different than a traditional, a Google ad. So if I was going to just run a campaign and I wanted to show up for keywords like stand-up desks, I would just type into Google, keyword stand-up desks. With the shopping campaigns, you do not enter keywords. So basically what it does, Google pulls all the data from your CSV and then it determines what it's going to show you for. Now, this is when I meant, that's why I mentioned earlier, like you could really optimize these things to get crazy high conversion rates, because the way that you can control for what keywords you appear for is through negative keywords. So what you'll want to do is create your campaign, then make sure you're taking out the more generic ones, because the reason they work so well is because we can appear if someone searched, Varidesk, stand-up desk, model 123 in black. And like if we want to appear for those type of keywords, we have to negate the more generic ones. And then we'll start getting very cheap and very high converting clicks.
I see. So you're not actually selecting the keywords, but you are putting what you don't want to appear for, the negative ones.
Exactly. Okay. Yep. Google's getting all that data from you. Yep.
And what does Google do? They kind of parse your site. They parse the text from the CSV file and determine what you should be listed for.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. Gotcha. That makes sense. Now, as far as dropshipping is concerned, of course, with these Google PLAs that that they're called, how really can you leverage the Google product listing ads to increase your drop shipping sales on high ticket items? Because, I know when you're doing searches, it's going to be all types of items. I've recently done searches. I was looking for some wireless headphones. I see those. But, higher ticket items, we're talking, I guess $500 or close to $1,000 and up. What do you specifically have to do to increase sales on those?
Sure. So a lot of it just has to do with actually making sure that everything that you upload to your website, so all the products you're selling, are formatted correctly. If there are different SKU numbers for products or manufacturer part numbers, if there's different color combinations, if there's like any data that you can get that people might use when they're searching for these things, has to be in your product descriptions, has to be on your product page. That way it goes into your CSV. So again, you'll appear for those more long tail keywords. Now, the reason that these do work so well though for the high ticket items is because when people are searching for them again on Google, and when they're clicking a product listing ad, they're usually very, very low in the buyer's journey of their buying cycle. They're pretty much ready to buy and just determining where to buy from. So what people are typically doing when it comes to drop shipping with lower ticket items is they're running more direct response type ads. So they'll put something in front of people on Facebook that are interested in a general interest that might be related to their product, and they'll try to get them to see it, to kind of interrupt their Facebook scrolling session and think, oh, I should buy this because it's only $20. Right. So for us, the reason that we can't do that is because someone's gonna, like you said, spend $500, $1,000, $2,000. We need them to already know what they want, to be searching for it. Then we need to give them the best experience out of all of our competition on our website. So the way that we get them, which is really step one, is to have the Google product listing ads from our website that are being shown for the most relevant keywords, which we do by having our product pages optimized and by negating everything that just isn't a buying keyword.
Oh, okay, I see. So with these product listing ads, it's really important that your product pages are optimized. The text, the descriptions, you want to be, that's kind of where the meat is. And that's really what you want to focus on.
And that's step one, right? So having that all optimized so that Google will show you. And then step two is making sure that your website is optimized, because again, by the time they find us, they know these products are available elsewhere. Right. So we have to do what we have to do to make sure that they're going to buy from us and not, our main competitor.
Gotcha. And these product listing ads are going to link directly to that product, so people go straight to it and they can just add it straight to the cart.
Exactly.
Okay, great. And with the product listing ads, how many typically appear? Like, let's say I searched for wireless headphones. How many are typically going to appear in that Google search results at the top?
It depends on which display, because sometimes you'll see between 3 and 5, but so there's two ways they appear, right? So you'll see them there on that homepage of Google, but then there's also a tab on Google search results called shopping, and they also appear there. So that's kind of like, you could think of it as like a product catalog of everybody that's running Google product listing ads. So in there, you'll get a lot of traffic too. But yeah, people either go direct to Google Shopping, like many people rely on that for their research. But if you want to be on the first page, depending on the display, usually between 3 and 5 products.
Okay, gotcha.
Or if you get lucky and you're the only one, if you're the only one choosing that keyword and showing up, it could be just you.
Okay, wow. Yeah, I'm sure that's really hard to do, I can imagine. But I know normally you're really just going to be kind of, I guess, within a queue, and based on what other people are doing, what other sites are doing, how their product descriptions are, and how they're changing, that up to 5 listings is going to change pretty frequently.
Yep. Exactly. And just like anything with Google, a lot of it's based on quality score. So how many people have clicked your stuff when they've seen it in the past? How many of them have stayed on your site after they've clicked it? You do also bid, even though you can't choose your keywords, you set campaign bids. So you might say, I'm willing to spend 30 cents. And then, if someone else says they're going to spend 50, if their quality score is the same as yours, they would show above you. Other things that make a difference would be, just the exact search term. So something like headphones would be really hard to be number one for, but something like maybe, Bose QC 35, like brand new, like the longer tail it gets, the easier it is to pop up at number one for low prices.
Okay, gotcha. Now with the listings, they're displayed from left to right, is that right? Or are they displayed different
left to right?
Formats? Right, gotcha. So to be number one, you're going to be on the far left.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that really totally makes sense. Now, as far as Google product listing ads are concerned, we talked a lot about, what you can do and how this can be effective for high ticket price items. I guess, what really is your definition of a high ticket price item?
I say minimum $200, but our average order price is closer to $1,000. But that's usually like, if anyone wants to get started with it, that's the lowest we'll go, just to have enough room to be able to spend money to acquire a customer. Gotcha.
That makes sense. So within drop shipping, since the focus, really your focus, if you're running a drop ship business, is going to be the advertising, the marketing, making sure the site is up, you have those expenses. It may not be cost effective if you're selling, products that are under $50. That's pretty much what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. So typically I'm willing to spend up to 10% of my product sale price to get the sale. Okay. So if I'm selling $1,000 product and I could spend $100 to get that sale, I'll do that all day. But then if I had a $50 product and I had $5 of my budget to get that sale, good luck. You need an insane conversion rate, and it's just really not a reality for most online stores.
I see. So essentially, Google product listing ads really it may not really be that effective for lower ticket items?
Unless you are the manufacturer or the brand and you're the only one selling it and you don't have competition, because then you really could get away with, you could bid as low as a penny. And if there's no one else there, you could pay a penny all day for it. So,
Gotcha. So let's just say I'm a regular e-commerce business. We'll go back to the wireless headphones. Manufacturer of these, I'm selling them directly from my website. It's not drop shipping, and I'm doing the whole fulfillment. Well, let's see that those products can be under $200. Let's say, I mean, a lot of times they're a little bit above that, but let's say there's some under 200. Would it make sense to do the Google product listing ads?
Yeah, I would say definitely, as long as no one else is bidding on your keywords, because you can get away with spending next to nothing. I had a website way back in the day. We were selling different fashion stuff, some cheaper things, but no one else was bidding on it. So we were paying between 1 and 2 cents per click. It was basically free advertising.
I see. So the key is going to be when you're optimizing your site and you're optimizing those product pages to make sure you use keywords that aren't being used a lot by some of the competitors out there. And that's really what you want to do.
Right. Or if you're selling in a crowded space, just make sure that it is an expensive item so you have room for your ad budget, and make sure your website is optimized to convert better than your competition.
Okay. Gotcha. That's really totally makes sense. Now, as far as, drop shipping in general, you've really done a lot in the business, especially as, like I said at the beginning, how you were voted the top Shopify dropshipping course. If somebody were to actually take your course, what could they expect to be able to do once they complete the course? How are you going to empower them to be successful in dropshipping?
Yeah, well, the goal of all of it is kind of, I guess, the goal I had when I first started, which is to build a business that can provide you with an income that's, greater than the average salary and greater than you would make in a normal, 9 to 5, where you can work 30 minutes to an hour a day on your business and then have automations in place and a team of virtual assistants, if needed, in place that, your 30 minutes is spent on delegating, on putting out fires if there are any, and to looking into what comes next as far as growing your business. Okay. But that is the end goal.
Wow. Okay. So the end goal would be for this to be your main business. So let's say somebody takes the course, they're starting it as a, I guess you could say, kind of a side hustle. They start their drop shipping site. The end goal is for them to leave their main job and then really just do this full time. And then for that to sustain them.
Yep. And then to use that other free time, because again, 30 minutes to an hour a day on this once you're up and running. So then do you want to, whatever you want to do. Do you want to build another business you're more passionate about? Do you want to travel, whatever? Because, that's people ask me like with e-commerce a lot, like, oh, do I have to do something that's a hobby of mine or that I'm passionate about? And the truth is, like all these stores that we build, it's not about passion for the products. It's about passion for building the business. So you can use your passion elsewhere and enjoy it rather than trying to make money from it.
Right. That totally makes sense. Now, I know a lot of the decision making process is going to be, let's say somebody takes the course and, they're ready to get going. How do you find the best types of products to sell? And what's really that criteria?
Mm-hmm. So what we look for, obviously the price point is our biggest thing. It's got to be up there. And then from there, I'm trying to find product types that really like people don't already know what they're going to buy, that they don't already have like a brand in their head for. Right. So an example I give sometimes is, I wouldn't sell electronics, but specifically I wouldn't sell tablets, because if someone wants a new tablet, they're probably going to buy, Surface, or they're going to buy an iPad, or maybe they'll buy the new, Samsung. But that's not something like, oh, I know people buy these, so let me sell them. So you want to sell things. I gave that example before, like a stand-up desk. If someone knows they want one, there's not a brand that pops into their head like, oh, I'm going to go pick up a Nike stand-up desk or anything. It's very like, yeah, you could be anything. Or same thing goes with like, I want a new chandelier, or I want a new surfboard. Like there's not names that just you constantly hear. So we look for that. I basically call that having no brand loyalty. Okay. And if customers have no brand loyalty, then that makes it definitely worth looking into. I see. And then we also look for things that have a lot of options and variants, because that means they really wouldn't be available in any given store. So if you take like a chandelier, maybe someone wants one that's 36 inches wide and that has crystals and black wiring through it, right? Like that's, you can't go to Home Depot and just get that off the shelf. So something that people need a reason to go online for.
Gotcha. Yeah, I understand that. You're right, because a product like you mentioned, a tablet, those types of things, people are, they know pretty much where they're going to go for that. They're going to go to Apple, they're going to go to Microsoft. They know exactly where. But if it's a little different, I think your example was good, the stand-up desks. And actually, after the podcast, I'm going to have to pick your brain on that, because I'm actually looking for one now. Yep. Yeah, I don't even know where to go. I've just been Googling. I've been checking Amazon. So I see exactly what you mean by that. There's not a definitive set source to buy this. So you can definitely pop up and be successful with that. I want to just kind of ask you, as far as the successes that you've seen with the drop shipping, especially with the high ticket items, because I'm sure you do a fair amount of follow up with people that have taken your course, and I'm sure people chime in with testimonials and things like that. On average, I guess you could say, how many of people that actually can take the course and go through it do get to the point where it becomes their main source of income and they're able to sustain themselves? Is there a high percentage of people that actually do that?
Yeah. And like you said, like for everybody that actually does this and, commits to it, I haven't seen anybody that said I have made an honest go at this and failed. So we have hundreds of success stories from people all over the world. Some of them have it as a second source of income. Many of them have left their jobs and are doing it full time. But the big difference from the people that do that, from the people that I never hear about, because obviously the large majority is people I never hear about. I don't know. I think the reason why some people are successful and others aren't is because the people that make this work go into it knowing that they're actually going to do something and build a real business, and they're just looking for more of a blueprint to follow, and they're looking to learn from someone that's got a decade of experience. Whereas the people that don't succeed or that just don't even try are ones that are just thinking like, I'm going to quit my job next week and be rich and travel the world. Like that's the big difference.
Right. I understand. Yeah, you have to be realistic. There's a lot of people like that kind of jump from thing to thing, thinking that they're going to get rich tomorrow. And yeah, those type of people will never be successful because they don't really have the patience and the discipline to stick through it and do what it takes. So you're totally right. Yeah, for sure. Well, Anton, you've provided a whole wealth of information about drop shipping, and especially specifically with high ticket items. I don't think we'd ever really covered drop shipping much at all really on the podcast. So this is really going to be, I know, an episode that our listeners are really going to appreciate, and I think they will really enjoy. So I want to kind of switch gears here. What I always like to do now is just ask my guests what is one thing that our audience would be surprised to know about you?
Maybe the fact that I'm just not so people think that I must be like some kind of like computer genius a lot of the times when they see these businesses and these websites I have.
Right.
And I am not technical at all.
Okay.
I can't change anything on our websites. I can use some drag and drop stuff in Shopify, but
Right.
I'm not a technical guy, and I'm still able to make this all work. So
okay, well, that's good. That's a good testimonial to state that. I know there's a lot of people out there that run online businesses or want to run online business, but they're not technical. So that just goes to show that it can be done, even though you may not have a technical background. You don't know how to code websites. These days, especially, there's so many resources out there for you to be able to get things done. Not only tools, but resources as far as virtual assistants, and the market these days is unbelievable with all of the sites where you can get workers to help you out virtually to do just about anything. So that's really a huge thing these days. Well, yeah, great. I appreciate your honesty on that question. And before I let you go, if any of our listeners want to get in contact with you, how do they do it, Anton?
Yeah, the best way would be just at the website, dropshiplifestyle.com. If you want to contact me, like all my social media and everything is all linked up off there. Okay. So that'll get you links to everything.
Okay, that sounds awesome. Well, thanks again, Anton, for joining us today on the e-commerce marketing podcast. It's been great having you, and we really appreciate all of the information that you've provided.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. That was fun.
Sure, thanks. Thank you for listening to the e-commerce marketing podcast. Do you need to get more feedback and reviews from your customers and improve your customer retention? We have made it easy to do all of this with our advanced customer feedback software. Just visit getosi.com/feedback and sign up for a free trial today. That's getosi.com/feedback.